Oh, well, that was good. That was a good chapter. I'm just giving myself some editing room. Ah, yes, I should also like loosen up a bit, get comfy, get ready for the next chapter. Oh, let us stretch. Okay, okay. This is all getting edited out of the YouTube video. That's gonna be great. Gonna be great. Okay. Ah. Hmm. Good. Framing's okay. Ah. And that is the inner workings of how I plan my interludes for YouTube. Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to Chapter 3 of Higurashi When They Cry. Chapter 4 of Higurashi When They Cry. Pardon me, I'm already screwing up my intros. We haven't even started yet. This is Himatsubushi. We are the detective Akasaka, who has been tasked with going to Hinamizawa to figure out if they have anything to do with the construction manager's grandson being kidnapped. Uh, we met Rika Furude last time, and it was just a heartwarming, joyous sight. And then she told us to leave and became very spooky. And now we're just kind of spooked. And that's about what you missed. So, enough with the random YouTube intro. Let us just jump right in because the Twitch viewers have been waiting. Ooh, who's calling? The phone suddenly rang. I woke up in a hurry. The clock read 9 p.m. Damn it! I slept past the time I was supposed to report in. I picked up the receiver. Akasaka-sama, you have a call from an outside line. Shall I connect you? It's from a coworker named Kano-sama. I knew it. I didn't call in, so they had phoned me. Sorry, please put them through. Understood. I'll connect you, so please hang up the receiver for the time being. After I had put down the receiver for a few seconds, the phone began to ring again. Yes, hello? This is Akasaka. Akasaka-kun? This is Kano. Good work out there. You didn't call in for your regular report, so we called instead. What's your situation? Leaving the lecture for later, my senior coworker got straight to the point. Today I went to the village proper. Under the guise of a tourist, I managed to establish contact with the mayor and several other core members of the Guardians. I wasn't able to ask them anything, but I left a good impression and was able to make a bridge for my investigation from tomorrow onwards. I see. It looks like things are going smoothly. Akasaka-kun, you seem rather naive at sometimes, but that might have worked in your favor. I guess you made some good impressions for now. I don't have the experience to make a comparison, so I don't know if it's that good or not. I think things went well for today, though. Did you find out anything from the prefectural or local offices? Does it look as though the Onigafuchi Guardians is unrelated to this incident? I still didn't know. I should have been able to say that immediately. I only had to say that, but for some reason, I hesitated. I'm still investigating, so I don't know what to say yet. I see. Could you let us know as soon as possible? I think you understand, but after tonight, it'll have been a full-blown 4 days since the kidnapping happened. They didn't set a time limit, but it's obvious that time is not on our side. I think you know that. Yeah, I know. I'll investigate a little quicker while still being careful about it. Okay. Be sure to look after yourself. You're dealing with a violent organization here. It might be dangerous to let your guard down. If you feel that you're in any danger, contact me immediately. In that case, I can get the local public safety office prepared to help you. Thank you. I'll do my best. Anything else to report? I reported several bits of supplementary information, and at the very end I decided to ask. How's the investigation going on your end? Everybody's doing their best here, but we're not making much progress. After all, the number of organizations we're investigating is vast. So, if you find out the one you're investigating is in the clear, we'll have you return to Tokyo to assist some of the other officers. The chief is saying to dig up what you can on Onigafuchi, but I don't think a residential anti-dam protest group has any relation to the incident at hand. Sending somebody out just to investigate a single group makes me cringe, really. At this point, he was just complaining. He was telling me to stop taking time enjoying my trip, to finish up and get back quick. I'll try and resolve this as soon as I can. Thanks. I'm counting on you. Well then, if there's nothing else, I'm hanging up. Okay, that's all I have. As we were ending our call, he scolded me thoroughly for being late with my regular report. After that, I hung up the phone and sprawled out on the bed. Come to think of it, I hadn't heard anything from Uishi. He was supposed to contact me about a time and place to meet with the informant tonight. I thought about getting angry with Uishi in retaliation for being scolded for forgetting my daily report. Come to think of it, though, Uishi didn't really say anything other than that he was going to call tonight. Waiting for a phone call when you didn't know what time it was going to come was in itself rather difficult. Just when I thought that, the phone rang. I picked up the receiver in a hurry. Hello?
Well, this is a surprise. Akasaka-san, you're pretty quick to answer the phone. Are you a regular user of dating chat lines or something?
I would never even try something seedy like that.
The way you overreact is rather interesting. Want to go to a place where you can have a little bit of lewd fun?
I'll pass. So, could you please get to the point, Uishi-san?
Really? Too bad. We'll leave that for next time, then. Well, I'll get to the point.
Many of the executives in the Onigafuchi Guardians had a lot of sway in the neighboring regions. Even in Okinomiya, there were a lot of people with relations in the village. That's why meeting in the Shishiboni Market District, far from Okinomiya, was a matter of course.
Akasaka-san, over here. Did you get a little lost? Coming from the north entrance might have been a bit of a detour, but it was easier to give directions from there.
No, I'm sorry for being late.
Did you eat dinner already?
Yeah, I already did.
Well then, shall we go to a place where we can get a drink? Do you prefer Western alcohol? Or maybe sake? Would you prefer a place with or without women?
Don't worry about it. I don't drink while I'm on the job. Hearing that, the man that Uishi had brought along bent backwards as he guffawed, clapping Uishi on the shoulder.
See? Isn't he just adorable? In exchange, can you give him a bit extra? That money all came from this guy's wallet, you know.
The man that Uishi had brought seemed almost like a ticket scalper or a bookie. Even his appearance was dubious. The informant grinned deviously. Hey boy, how much do you give this guy? It looks like there was quite a bit skimmed off the top, you know. Uishi's handling fee was included, so I took that into account. It seemed that the informant had expected a more extravagant reaction on my part. When I responded matter-of-factly, he realized that I was an entirely different type of person than he was. But rather than putting a distance between us, it seemed that I had piqued his interest. Tripping up. Mwah.
I said it, didn't I? He's the serious type. But do you see, Akasaka-san? People in a line of work like ours can really use their wealth of experience to their advantage.
I'm wondering exactly how the experience of drinking in a bar with women would work to my advantage. The informant, unable to contain himself, clutched at his stomach as he guffawed, heedless of the people watching.
Oh, Lottie, Akasaka-san, you really can judge people. That's what an education does for you.
Uishi-san? You've been drinking somewhere, haven't you? Are you drunk?
What's wrong with drinking when I'm off duty? Even if you're working, I'm not.
Uishi, who was the sort that had fooled around to begin with, was in such a good mood I couldn't figure out a way to deal with him. Completely different than me, who had come worried about getting every bit of information I could. Uishi-san, After taking so much money, you were supposed to get me information worth at least as much. I thought this, but then realized that I was getting my information from the informant, so it didn't matter how drunk Uishi was. It was nothing I could complain about, but I still felt slightly riled up. Uishi and the informant, it was no doubt a fake name, but he introduced himself as Sato, led the way deeper and deeper into the back streets of the market district. Even though the market was bustling, a couple of turns off the main street and you were in a desolate alleyway. Uishi started climbing a set of stairs on the side of a seedy building. There wasn't any sort of signage, so I couldn't tell if the place was open or if it was even a store at all.
Don't worry, this isn't a dubious place.
Those words, coming from Uishi's mouth, had absolutely no credibility. Beyond the door was thankfully a typical Mahjong parlor. I was relieved that it wasn't the sort of suspicious place I had to be on guard about. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Uishi-san, it's been a while. Want to join in? There'll be a free spot soon.
No, I'm here with a group today, so it's fine. I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
Mahjong is a game played with 4 people. It seems that a middle-aged man who was going to be our 4th had already arrived and was waiting for us. You're late, Kuraudo. I was thinking of going home. Uishi made an excuse for why he had taken so long. Eventually, realizing that I was a new face, the other man grew interested.
That's Akasaka-san. He's a rookie who came all the way from Tokyo on assignment. They have high hopes for him.
Boy, can you play Mahjong? Well, I played a bit when I was still a student. Sato and the old man cackled in unison. Their plot to sucker me out of my money was painfully obvious.
I thought you'd be a bit tired from your assignment, leaving you on edge all the time. So I thought I'd give you a night to cleanse your spirit.
I know asking this now might be stupid, but we're all police, aren't we?
Well, let's not talk about that. Loosen up a bit. We won't actually gamble anything. We're just deciding who's going to pay for everyone to go play at a very nice place afterward.
Go play? At what kind of place would you be doing that? Without reservation, the 3 of them started suggesting places like cabarets, high-class clubs, and even brothels. At the very least, they were the type of places that you couldn't go to with money that was just for funsies. Uishi-san took all my money the other day, and I also have work to do, so I can't stay for long. Then all you have to do is win. If you win, then you won't have to pay for this table, and you can talk to Kuraudo about work or whatever. No matter what happened, it seemed like they were intent on playing Mahjong for free. I would have to fasten my resolve a bit. If I was going to be underestimated like this forever, it was going to get in the way of my work. I understand. Then I'll play with you guys for just a bit. If I win, you guys don't get any of the money or get to go to any of those dirty places, and we talk about work right away.
Yeah, bring it on.
If I win, we're headed straight to the Blue Mermaid on Flower Road.
This old lech here likes that place too. Of course, we're going to hop between all the places where they keep the girls coming. Akemi-chan. What about you, Sato-san?
I'd prefer a place where we can drink quietly.
Like a nice quiet place with a bunny girl? The last time we went drinking, we pulled the tail right off that bunny girl, didn't you? Didn't you end up having to pay for that?
The owner started a bottle of Dom Perignon on my tab and called it a tailoring fee. What a lively table this was. I could tell the other customers were glaring at us while we loudly continued our crude conversation. Speaking of which, the fact that they assumed I was the same was a bit disheartening. Uishi had taken all the money I'd brought, so everything I had left was out of my own pocket. In addition, there wasn't much left of that either. If I kept on hanging around him like this, through his goading, my wallet would disappear into the night. I had to somehow win and return the conversation to my job. But these people, no matter how you looked at it, were pretty good. Sorry, Yuki.
Well then, I'll just call Ricci here.
Well, the old man and Sato-san probably won't fall for this silly Ricci. I wonder if Akasaka-kun will spit out what I need.
At any rate, Kuraudo's hand is probably hiding something like that, huh? In that case, this one ought to go through. There!
Oh, the old man's pretty good. He's quietly trying to use one of my save tiles to complete his hand, isn't he? It seems that Akasaka-kun has at least learned the ropes when it comes to guarding against someone's Ricci. But that will be his downfall.
What's wrong, boy? Would you hurry up and discard? If you're not sure, anything that Kuraudo's already thrown away should be safe, no?
Ooh, Akasaka-kun's really fretting over this one. It was glaringly obvious that he had a safe tile to discard, but he didn't want to throw it away because it would move him farther from completing his hand. They're so nice when they're young and innocent. Come on, hurry up and throw out the kicker. If he gave me the winning tile, we'd be headed to an establishment where I could do with all sorts of licking and sucking. If he gives the old man his winning tile, we'd be headed straight to the place with maids and bloomers. This will go through, right? He looked up as he hesitantly threw out a tile that was... oh, too bad.
Hey now, that's a dangerous tile, you know? Kuraudo, doesn't that go through? Does that go through? Yeah, it will.
It seems this time you were lucky. But as long as the round kept going, I could still win off the draw. But after that, Akasaka-kun managed to luckily avoid throwing any bad tiles, and somehow the round managed to end without anybody completing a hand.
Tenpai! Tenpai!
No 10. Sato-san had keenly anticipated that two players were in Ricci and had decided to play it safe. What a cool-headed way of playing. Now let's see. What kind of hand did Akasaka-kun have? When the round ends with nobody winning in Mahjong, anybody in Tenpai has to show their hand. But if you're not in Tenpai, you have no obligation to reveal it. Your average beginner would normally show their hand even if they weren't in Tenpai, and start a commotion about how if this tile or that tile came, they would be in Tenpai. But he didn't. Being stingy. How'd you do, boy? Come on and show me. Sato-san reached over to flip the hand that Akasaka-kun had casually placed face down. What the hell is this? He was nowhere near Tenpai. Was Akasaka-kun totally bad at this after all? Right then, as the old man compared the tiles from Akasaka-kun's hand to the discard pool, a puzzled expression crossed his face.
Boy, you were in Tenpai right around here, weren't you? Why'd you break your hand?
The higher Manzu tiles suddenly got more valuable, so I held them back, even though the chance that they were safe tiles had increased with respect to Oishi-san's Ricci. It would have been safer to read the discards, but there was a player who went out of their way to keep the tiles out of play.
Oh? So Kuraudo's Tenpai was no good from the start, in other words.
If it wasn't such a high-level trap, I would have thought that you were waiting for me to throw out the winning tile. But the more concerning thing is that you were in Tenpai and didn't say anything.
When did you realize I was in Tenpai?
Around here? You threw out 4 tiles in a row immediately. At first, I thought you were just discarding redundant tiles, but I noticed you glancing over at me and realized you were waiting for something.
Akasaka-kun, you... Akasaka-san, when did you start playing Mahjong?
I never did, except in high school and university. Now, let's continue. Since Sato-san wasn't in Tenpai and the round ended without a winner, then I'm next, right? The next dealer. It seems like Akasaka-kun is really aware of how the game flows.
We thought we were just going to eat him alive, but it looks like that isn't going to be so easy.
It's weird that the perspective seems to have changed to Uishi for the narrator. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Uishi-san, looks like you're going for the bamboo tiles. Did I put some in play?
This boy. Kurudo, don't back down. As long as I get 3 more good tiles. Seto-san, think you can do it?
Damn it. I'll just force you to go for a cheap Tanyao. Chi! A straight? Well, sorry. I'm going to pawn that tile.
Oh, now, going to call 3 of a kind after he declared a straight. Trying to override and interfere. Boy, you're getting pretty used to this.
Oh, no. I couldn't even compare to you guys, who have been playing since before I was even born. That's game. Ron. Triplets. 2 red Dora and 3 more Dora. I'm the dealer, so this'll cost you quite a bit.
Akasaka-san, nice job. Now we'll have to get serious, won't we?
Well, can you get serious about handing over your points? I'm tired, so let's end this quickly.
Akasaka-kun, this is somehow unreal. Before I could realize it, there was an ominous cold air emitting from beneath Akasaka-kun's feet.
How blasé. The 2, 5, and 8 Manzus are laughing at you. Damn it! Boy, you...
Kurudo, finish it! You have to end the boy's turn as dealer. I hate to admit it, but that seems like the best option.
There it is. Ron! Simple straights, 1 Dora. Sorry, head bump. Ron. Straight. A head bump? You damn brat! Brat? So you play that sloppily against a brat? Guess that means you're worse than a brat yourself. It's so interesting. The way you guys call people things like brat and boy.
Akasaka-kun, that is you, isn't it? It feels like you're a totally different person.
You thought that I, being a sucker, would let you drink some good booze tonight. Seems that you were a little off the mark. Ron. Triple straight, red Dora, and another Dora. Whoa! He actually did it! That's why I'm saying you guys are slacking. No matter how you look at it, you have to be able to read such an obvious 3-way weight.
Akasaka-kun chuckled as he rested his chin in his hands. That pose was so fitting it was almost scary. Hey, Kurudo! This isn't what we discussed! Who the hell said he was a naive sucker ripe for the picking? Who could it be?
Uishi-san, this is bad. If he keeps going like this, we're seriously going to lose.
Akasaka-kun, for you to make me get serious, looks like you really want to be milked dry.
Pawn. Pawn. That sounds nice. One more time. Pawn.
Akasaka-kun was almost singing at this point. The tiles he had opened were all pin tiles. You can't be serious. Are you really going for the flush?
Pawn. Boy, are you right in the head? You've opened 4 sets. You only have 1 tile left, you know. That's right. Did you know? Waiting on a single tile is the hardest thing to read. Are you an idiot? With that much of your hand revealed, you don't think we'd give you a tile you need, do you?
I know what you're doing, Akasaka-san. That's not a flush or a half flush, is it? The fact that you called pawn 4 times means you're already in position for an all-triplet hand. Right now, you're far and away in the lead. You're trying to show a flush and goad us into giving you triplets, aren't you?
If that's what you think, want to try throwing out some pins? The left 5 tiles in your hand, Uishi-san. They're pin tiles you're reluctant to throw away, aren't they? Why don't you try discarding them in order from the left?
You must be joking. Is he a Mahjong god? If not, he had to be the main character of a manga or something. At that moment, the old man set me a sign under the table. The message was simple and clear. Kurodo, do it. Crush him! I don't like to cheat against kids like this. Idiot! After being disrespected like this, we can't pull back now. Well, I'm not responsible for what happens, you know. Go ahead. Here we go, boy. Richie, we'll go open. I'm waiting for a 1, 4, or 7 of pins. Most likely, the tile that Akasaka-kun was waiting for was one of those tiles. With this, Akasaka-kun was no longer capable of winning the hand. When I drew from the wall, I switched out the tile that Akasaka-kun would draw. The tile that I put in was the 1 pin, one of the tiles that old man was waiting on. Akasaka-kun discarded it a while ago, so there was no threat of it being the one he needed.
Come on, it's your turn, boy.
I knew he was troubled that the tile he drew was the 1 pin. Of course, he couldn't discard it. Boy, you must be aware, but if you discard into an open Riichi, it's worth the limit, you know.
You don't have to tell me that.
The tile that came back from Akasaka-kun's hand was an honor tile. Ain't that something? There's only one North Wind tile left, isn't there? You were counting on a really rough wait, weren't you? But with this, Akasaka-kun's fate was decided. Brat. You're lucky you're safe, but your hand only has a single tile. You think you'll be able to run away the rest of this round?
So it's going to be like that.
Akasaka-kun glared at the old man with a discerning eye. This guy had pretty good instincts. Did he figure out we were cheating? Let's stop this. Akasaka-kun is a step or 2 ahead of us. Fool! You think we can stop after we've come this far? Next, make him draw it. The next tile that Akasaka-kun would draw was the 7 pin. With that, it would be settled. No matter which he discarded, he'd play right into the old man's hand. An unavoidable full payout. When I drew my tile, I sneakily swapped Akasaka-san's. What? Akasaka-kun suddenly sneezed, collapsing the wall of tiles in front of him. Hey, what are you doing?
Sorry, I accidentally knocked over the wall when I sneezed. There's a penalty for that, right? I'm the dealer, so 4,000 to everybody? Or should I pay a deposit?
Unable to hold back, I guffawed. Akasaka-kun, knowing he was going to be cornered a second time and unable to escape, he took the drastic measure of knocking over his own wall. You're good, boy. To get away from a full payout like that.
Oishi-san, could you not bother putting me in such an obvious trap? If we were at Baba, this would have been the point where I flipped the table.
Oh, no. Sorry. I underestimated you. For some reason, you're really good, aren't you? Answer me honestly. You got a lot of experience when you were younger, didn't you?
I played quite a bit around Waseda and Takadano Baba. The place I frequented banned me for winning too much. I made the woman who became my wife pretty angry, so I washed my hands of it all.
Raised the stakes too high? How much were you playing for at the time?
It depends on who I was playing with, but I had an almost perfect record playing in Kabukicho. Especially since when I played against a certain crowd, my life was on the line.
20 times? What kind of stakes were those? Did you have Yakuza at your table? Or pro baseball players? What's this? Kurodo, you buffoon! Where did you pull this guy from? He's practically a professional! I give up. Jeez. Boy, it's your win. I surrender.
Thank you very much. It was an honor.
Oh my. Akasaka-san, your personality really changes when you play. Why do you even have a day job? You'd have no problem living as a freelancer.
To be a pro Mahjong player, you need both talent and luck. I didn't have anything like that supporting me. Luck is luck. With somebody of your skill, I think you'd be able to make it pretty far. Normal luck doesn't cut it. Calling a con and 1 time out of 3, you can aim to win on the extra draw with 4 Dora. That kind of luck.
Akasaka-kun, if you can judge something like that, you're already bordering on the supernatural.
No, there's plenty of people who can do that without cheating or superpowers. There was a person I met in Shinjuku who would get Doras every time he blinked. He was as strong as a demon. There was a pro I played with in Yokohama who would draw the tile he needed immediately after calling Ricci like it was an everyday thing. I don't have that kind of luck.
What type of folks were those? They weren't named Ryu or Satoshi by any chance.
Well then, is it alright if I'm declared the overall winner then?
Yeah, we totally lost. I lost. It's been a while since I lost this big.
Still, when you were playing, boy, you were pretty into it. It was kind of scary. I hear that a lot. I don't mean to change gears like that, though. Did I really look that scary?
Yep.
The 3 of us
Nodded emphatically in agreement. So that was Akasaka-kun, the Mahjong Prodigy. Before he goes home from his assignment, maybe I could have him go play at a high-stakes table in my place. But it's not good to get greedy. Well then, nothing for it. It was a promise. We'll break up our little late-night study group right now. Sorry about this, old man. That's it for tonight. Nothing you could do. I'm going back to sleep. My body won't last like this.
Problems at work?
Oh, he's the foreman of the primary construction site at the Hinamizawa Dam. He's butting heads with the residents every day. It's a rough business. Around next year, I might be in charge of the second site as well. I heard that Kuroda-san was pissing blood. He won't hold out much longer. You'll be all right, old man. Your skull is thicker than it looks. I'm not exactly a saint, you know. There's times that make my blood boil. I especially can't stand dealing with that bratty daughter of Sonozaki's. I think one of these days I'm going to rearrange her face. Now. At least the pay is good, right? I heard the wages were pretty exorbitant. Of course they are. If the pay was cheap, nobody would hang around that god-awful job. Hey, Kurodo, exactly when are the police going to tell all the villagers to shove off? There'll be a notice of eviction from the government. No, there'll be a notice of eviction from the government, right? Maybe. I wonder what will happen. The old man who identified himself as the foreman of the Hinamizawa Dam spewed a few complaints until he felt better about it, then left quietly. Well then, let's go. I'll leave the rest to Sato-san.
Oishi-san, are you going home?
If I'm here, I'll just be in the way, won't I? Besides, the one who bought Sato-san's services was you. I didn't pay for my share.
Oishi-san was kind of sketchy, but he was strangely conscientious about some things. I felt quite a bit of a gap between myself and Oishi's generation from that part of him I didn't comprehend.
Then, boy?
No, I can't call Mr. Mahjong here boy no more. Is Akasaka-kun all right with you? Yes. Then Akasaka-kun, shall we go?
Well then, Akasaka-san, later. If you're having any trouble, you can count on me anytime.
I don't have any more money to pay you, you know that?
Hey, if you go easy on me next time, we'll be even.
Oishi, seemingly still not having had his fill of playing around, but without overstaying his welcome, disappeared into the night. Oh my god, thank Christ! Oh, Oishi was killing me. He was killing me.